वाक्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणानर्हार ध्वजोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद् ऋषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनां अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्युत्तर दुष्टम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवद्युत्तर दुष्टम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनुष्याकारिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अनवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषेक्त चूड़ामणि साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाण पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव सिंहासनाभिषिक्त समस्त गणनायक श्री महागणपति समारंभ नवचिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्रतम अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदि पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगत गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमत् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठ श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्री श्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम् तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्यानाम अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष सुदृढ़ फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं मम समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलाप्त्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन पूर्ण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़गात्र योगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये। Om Apopasprishya. Please wash your palms now. Now we are going to be entering into the Nithyananda Yoga, Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Prathama Vinyasa Krama. We request all the participants to please settle down. In each one of the asanas that we are going to be doing, we are going to be following the 12 different components as revived by Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where you not only experience the health and the powerfulness that you get from the yoga, but you experience the ultimate state of oneness directly from doing the Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Prathama Vinyasa Krama. The first asana is a Sukhasana. Each of the asanas are going to be having the various 12 different components included in it. The first asana is Sukhasana. During the Sukhasana, you're going to be doing the Samana Kumbhaka, and the Bandha is going to be the Mahabudra Bandha, where you're going to be doing the Jalandhara Bandha, Mula Udhyana Bandha, and the Mula Bandha. Please lock your chin to the chest and suck in your stomach and in the perineal and suck in the perineal, the clench the perineal region. This is called as a Mahamudra Bandha. And visualize Lord Shiva in your inner space and gaze at your third eye and keeping the chin mudra in your palms. We are now going to be chanting the Shastra Pramana, the Sukhasana. Tatsukasanamityuktam ashaktastat asanam vijitam nena jitam tena jagatrayam. Bring the legs into Padmasana now and bring the palms together and raise them above your head, keeping the elbows straight, engaging in all the three bandhas. Mahamudra Bandha. अथ वक्षे महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलम् यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् षट्चक्रादिविलोपनम्. Now bring the soles of the feet together in front of you and hold the left hand by the right hand and place your forehead on the ground behind the heels. Once again, engage in all the three bandhas and bring your gaze towards the tip of your nose. पूर्व विधियाहु में जानो उभय पगतली संपुटानो पृष्ठ पचे दो करल्यावो दक्षिण कर सोवाम गहावो पृष्टि हथेली है की जोई अंशु सहित भूमि धरे सोई पुनि ललाटी भूपरिटाने एड्या लगता माही आने. The next is the Nagi Pavasana. Keep the soles of the feet together and the forehead on the ground behind the heels. Stretch your hands out in front of the feet and cup the palms, making a halo. Engage all the three bandhas and gaze at your nose. Visualize yourself as a snake, holding the three bandhas. पूर्व विधि पर आगा नव नीचे होई कलभूनि फनास्यो लगाई हाथ आगाने धरती लगावे पसारी दो वो हाथ की अंजुली करे भूयड़ी परि लगावे दृष्टि नासा अग्र आसन को गुण शरीर बिता जाई. The next is the Kokilasana. Please stretch your legs and cross them into Padmasana. Hold the big toes with the index and middle fingers. Cross them into Padmasana, lean forward and bend down onto the elbows, engaging all the three bandhas, visualizing yourself as a bird. Kokilasana. अतान्यसाधनं वक्ष्ये न सिद्धो भवे नरः अकस्मात् वायुसञ्चारं कोकिलाख्यासनेन च ऊर्ध्वे हस्तद्वयं कृत्वा तदग्रे पादयोः सुधिः तद्वयं नाथ शनैः शनैः प्रकारयेत्. The next is the Nithyasana. Place one ankle on top of the opposite knee and hold the opposite elbows, engaging in all the three bandhas. Rotate the arms in a circle and gaze on to your nose. Nithyasana, and slowly rotate your elbows. Visualize Swamiji. Nyathara. Goda Bhava Padike Ashamahili Soye Dach Charan को वार लौ तपरि गुल्फ समोये वाम पाद को माहि लौ बहुरो गुल्फुज जान तापरि गोड़ा दचिति आश बार लीठान बहुरी भुजा दो कर की जो कहुन्या लगती प्रकारो सोवु. The next is Gajasana. Press the hands onto the ground and lifting the hips up high. Lower the head, then the chest in a scooping motion. Scoop the body forward and down again, visualizing yourself as an elephant. And here, hold on to the Uddiyana Bandha, sucking in your stomach. Nyujjam padagre bhumau kritva lambi bhuya mastakagre nidhaya nitamba urdhamudramaya nabhilaksham bhumau nasika maniya hastatala paryantam nayet ittam punah punah kuryat gajasanam bhavati. Now in the same position, we are going to be entering into Rikshasana. Keep the hands pressed onto the ground and the hips up high, alternating pressing the heel of one foot into the ground while lifting the other heel up again. Repeat the same motion again and again, visualizing yourself as a bear. Ekaikam padamakuncha gajasanam kurya drikshasanam bhavati. Now raise up and stand tall on the tips of the big toes with all the other toes raised off the ground, and keep the head, neck and spine in a straight line, and bring the middle index and ring fingers to the heart center. Stand tall on the tips of the big toes with all the other toes raised off the ground. Keep the head, neck, and spine in a straight line and bring the middle index and ring fingers to the heart center in the Hridaya Mudra, visualizing Swamiji in your third eye. Hold on to the Uddiyana Bandha where you are sucking in your stomach. केशेन पादयुगलं तद्धा तिष्ठेदधोमुखः अथ वैशे वक्ष्ये यत्कृत्वा सत्यवान् भवेत्. Now we are going to be entering into the karma. Urdhvajanukarana. Stand at the heels touching in the toes facing outwards at 45 degrees angle, and keep the knees bent and both hands at the chest and elbows parallel to the ground. Twist one knee towards the center, then raise it up and back across the body to the original position. Simultaneously, as the legs raise, follow the movement with the respective hand, raising it up and across the body. Repeat it on the other side. This is called as the Urdhvajanukarana. Now please relax and let's enter into the next asana, Balalingasana. Interlace the fingers from outside in and hold on to the knee, pulling it up towards the chest, keeping the spine straight and engaging in all the three bandhas. Balalingasana. Visualize yourself as caressing a baby. Ekam janurasya statavyam balalinganam bhavati. The next is Padapidanasana. Take one foot and pull it behind towards the buttocks, holding it with both the hands and gazing towards your third eye, keeping the head, neck, and spine in a straight line and engaging in all the three bandhas, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Sthitva kasmin padatale karabhyam veshtayetanam prishte samsthapya yatnena padapidanamasana. The next is Natarajasana. With the respective hand, hold on to the sole of the foot from the inside and extend the opposite hand simultaneously forward with the index and thumb together. Simultaneously kick and pull the foot back and up by leaning forward, holding on to the Mula Bandha where you're engaging all the three bandhas, visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja, bringing your gaze towards your third eye. Uttana padan krauncha maricim vira bhadrakam natarajan trikonancha suptangashta prasarane. Now we are going to repeat the whole set towards the other side. Balalingasana. Visualize yourself as caressing a baby and interlace the fingers from outside in and hold on to the knee, pulling it up towards the chest and bring your gaze towards the third eye. Ekam janurasya statavyam balalinganam bhavati. Now pull one leg backwards and keeping it towards your buttocks, holding it with both the hands. Keep the head, neck, and spine in a straight line, engaging all the three bandhas with the gaze towards the third eye and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Sthitva kasmin padatale karabhyam veshtayetanam prishte samsthapya yatnena padapidanamasana. The next is Natarajasana. Hold on to your toe and stretch yourself backwards. Extend the opposite hand forward with the index and the thumb together simultaneously. Kick and pull the foot back and up by leaning forward, visualizing yourself as Lord Nataraja and bringing your gaze towards the third eye. Uttana padam krauncha maricim vira bhadrakam natarajan trikonancha suptangashta prasarane. Now we are going to be entering into the Ardharechita Karana. Stand in Aramandi, bringing your heels together, toes pointing outwards and the knees bent. Bring the right foot behind the other while the toes and heels are up. Keep the left hand at the chest and extend the opposite arm wide like a pendulum and bring it back towards the chest. While the arm swings, move the fingers one by one inwards towards the palm and then outwards. Now, place the right hand over the nose and across the ankles. Uncross the ankles and repeat it on the other side. Now we are going to be entering into the skeleton dance. This is a very powerful process directly revived by Swamiji from the Agamas, which can bring in tremendous integrity in you. Now visualize yourself just as a skeleton. No muscles, no body, nothing else, but merely as a skeleton. Visualize this and shake your body intensely. Shake it continuously. Jump, shake every bone of yours. You are just a skeleton. Visualize yourself intensely as a skeleton. You can close your eyes and move around. Visualize just the skeleton is moving around, jumping, dancing. Make sure you shake every part of you with just holding on to this visualization that you are a skeleton. Shake intensely. Remove any tiredness, anything from every single joint, every single bone of yours. You are merely a skeleton, a flexible skeleton that is just dancing around, jumping around. Now, please relax. We are going to be entering into Parichinna Karana. Bring back yourself to the Aramandi. Heels together, toes pointing outwards, knees bent, bringing the hands above your head with the arms crossed and palms facing backwards. Move the hips from one side to another simultaneously. Uncross the arms wide above the head and come back to the beginning position and repeat it on the other side. This is called as a Parichinna Karana. Now let's enter into Tadasana. Stand tall on the tips of the toes and raise your hands up and above the head, beside the ears, engaging in all the three bandhas, that is, engaging in the Jalandhara bandha, Dhyana bandha, and Mula bandha, sucking in your stomach, clenching your perineal region, and locking your chin to the chest. You are entering into Tadasana, visualizing yourself as a palm tree. Mahamudra Baddha Kono Tadasana Vibedakana Vinottanam Sada Kuryadantarvatni Patipriya. Next is Uttanasana. From the same standing position, lean forward and bend down. Bring your hands flat on the ground, engaging in all the three bandhas. Bring your forehead towards the knees. This is called as Uttanasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, gazing at your third eye. Mahamudra Baddha Kono Tadasana Vibedakana Vinottanam Sada Kuryadantarvatni Patipriya. Next, you're going to enter into a planking position. Keep your hands flat on the ground, shoulder width apart, and step the feet back, the toes on the ground, tuck the chin to the chest as in Jalandhara Bandha, and rotate the head from side to side. This is called as Tarakshvasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and bring your gaze towards your third. Gajasanavastitva mastakam varam varam dakshina kukshim savya kukshim nair tarakshvasanam bhavati. The next is Bhujangasana. Visualize yourself as a cobra and bring your gaze towards the third eye. Lower the entire body down onto the stomach and keep the toes pointed backwards. Keep the hands next to the chest and raise the head up using the strength of your lower back. Make sure you're lifting no higher than just the belly button off the mat. Open your mouth wide and inhale to the hollow of your throat. This is called as the Bhujangi Mudra. Engage the Mula Bandha, clenching the perineal region. Angushtana viparyantabo bhumau vininyaset karabhyan shadharan dhritva urdhva shesha phani vahit देहाग्निर्वर्धते नित्यं सर्वरोगविनाशनम् जागर्ति भुजगी देवी भुजंगासन साधनात्. Now continue the visualization of Swamiji in your inner spirit, entering into Shasasana. Come back to the tall planking position and alternate, bringing one knee towards the chest, back and forth. Continue to engage the Mula Bandha, clenching in your perineal region. Gajasana samstitau janadvayamakunchya varam varam kartavyam shashasanam bhavati. The next is the Rathasana. Now, in the same position, simultaneously jump one foot back and forth, bringing the other in between the two hands, alternating again and again, visualizing yourself as chariot. Gajasana samstitau margena dhramayitva karavim rathasanam bhavati. The next is Virabhadrasana. Keep one foot flat on the ground, the toes pointing forward and the knee bent at 90-degree angle. Extend the other leg back, keeping the knee straight, pointed out at a 45-degree angle. Raise the arms up parallel beside the ears, pull the stomach in and up, gazing on the third eye. Visualize yourself as Lord Virabhadra. वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम् उत्थानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रकं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टः प्रसारणे. Now repeat the same Virabhadrasana towards the other side. Continue the same visualization of Lord Virabhadra and continue to engage your gaze at the third eye. वासिष्ठमथ कौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमथोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम् उत्थानपादं क्रौञ्चं च मरीचिं वीरभद्रं नटराजं त्रिकोणं च सुप्ताङ्गष्टः प्रसारणे. Now we will enter into Rikshasana. Stand tall and bring one foot into the inner thigh and bring your palms together and raise them up above the head, keeping the elbows straight. Pull the stomach in and up and gaze forward, visualizing yourself as a tree. Rikshasana. Vamurmooladeshe yamyam padam nidhaya tutishte turikshasana vrikshabad bhumo vrikshasanam idam viduhu. The next is Garudasana in the same position. Now bring your foot towards the other thigh and bring the palms together in front of your heart center and keep the standing legs as straight as a rod. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda and gaze forward. Garudasana-mavakshe yena dhyanam sthiram bhavet sarvadoshadvinirmukto bhavati mahabali ekapadamurau bhadva ekapadena dandavat jangapada sandhideshe janavyagram vyavasthitam etadasanamakrutya prashte samhara mudraya आराध्य योगनाथं च सदा सर्वेश्वरस्य च. Now we are going to continue repeating the Rikshasana on the other side. Please take your sole of the feet and keep it in your inner thigh and raise your palms up above the head, joining them together, visualizing yourself as a tree and gaze forward. वामेरुमूलदेशे च याम्यं पादं निधायतु तिष्ठेतु वृषभधूमौ वृक्षासनमिदं विदुः. The same position. Now bring your foot and place it on the opposite hip, bringing your palms together in front of your heart center and make sure the legs is completely straight. Visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda, Garudasana. Garudasana-mavakshe yena dhyanam sthiram bhavet sarvadosha-dvinirmukto bhavatiha mahabali ekapadamurau bhadva ekapadena dandavat jangapada-sandhideshe janavyagram vyavasthitam etadasanamakrutya prishte samhara mudraya aradhya yoganatham cha sada sarveshwarasya cha. Now let's enter into Trikonasana. Stand and step one leg far back, keeping the front toes pointing forwards and back toes pointing facing the sideways. Keep the arms straight and bring the front arm down towards the ground beside the foot, while the other arm extends towards the sky. Visualize yourself as a triangle in Trikonasana. Uttanapadam krauncha marichim veerabhadrakam natarajam trikonancha suttangashta prasarane. Please repeat the same thing on the other side. Continue to visualize yourself as the triangle. Uttanapadam krauncha marichim veerabhadrakam natarajam trikonancha suttangashta prasarane. Now let's enter into the next Karana, the Nikutta Karana. Now stand on your foot and bring your palms in front of your heart center and continue to standing in the Aramandi and lift the heel up and keep alternating between both the heels. This is called as the Nikutta Karana. Now let's enter into the next asana, Angushthasana. Here we're going to be doing a special pranayama where you're going to be buzzing like a bee. And you're going to be engaging the Mula Bandha. For the next few asanas, continue to buzz like a bee. And visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Bring your gaze towards your third eye and lower on to the tips of the toes, placing the perineum on the back of the heels. Keep the knees and the palms together. We are entering into Angushthasana. Kabandhasanam mityahuhu gorakshasanam evacha angushtamushtikam nyeyam brahma prasaditam tatha. Now just stretch one leg forward and continue to buzz like a bee. From the tips of the toes, extend one leg straight out, heel down and the toes up. Keep the fingers down on the ground with the sideways with your palms facing forward in Varamudra. And continue to engage the Mula Bandha and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Mula Bandha is clenching your perineal region. Prasayaikam padatalam samstapya dveka padakam. Now lean forward and hold on to the toes with your hand in Pranamudra. Gulpastito padamekam prasarya tatpadagram samsprishe tatkarena gulpam chanyam dharaye tatarena dhunam pitam chabhyase chobhayatra. Now continue to repeat the same set towards the other side. Stretch your other leg forward and clench your toes. Flex your toes and engage the Mula Bandha, clenching in your perineal region. Continue to buzzing like a bee and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Saurasana. Prasaryayakam padatalam samstapya dveka padakam. And now lean forward and hold on to the toe. If possible, you can even try placing your nose on the knee. Vidunanasana. Gulpastito padamekam prasarya tatpadagam samsprishe tatkarena gulpam chanyam dharaye tatkarena dhunam pitam chabhyase chobhayatra. Now we are going to be entering into Brahmajalamukasana. Keep the toes on the ground and place the perineum on top of the heels. Keep the gap between the legs and back of the hands resting on the sides. Tilt the head down and gaze through the gap between the palms. Here you're going to be engaging your chin to the chest and in entering into Chalandra Bandha and clenching in your perineal region and engaging into the Mula Bandha. And bring your gaze towards the third eye, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space and continue buzzing like a bee. दो फणापनि होय वैसे एडी दो गुदानी वैसे कोर पगतल्या की माहिली आयस माहिरा शैमिली. The next is the Kapilasana. Visualize yourself as sage Kapila Muni, who's first started the liberated thinking. Place the knees on the ground with the toes tucked behind, sitting on the perineum, down on the heels. Rest your hands on top of the thighs. Pull the stomach in and up and gaze towards the nose. This is called as Kapilasana. Continue to buzz like a bee. उभय पगतली समट हरावे तिनके माहिली कोर मिलावे फना पानी उकड़ होय वैसे ऐडी दो जा जो नीली वैसे घोड़ा दो भूमि लगावे समस्तरीरनी का ठहरावे हस्त दो घोड़ा परिराशे नासा दृष्टि अचल करिताशे. The next is the Bhadragorakasana. Continue the same visualization of Swamiji and gaze towards your third eye. Place the knees on the ground with the toes tucked behind, sitting on the perineum, down on the heels. Rest your hands on the top of the thighs. You're going to continue the same asana. The only change is going to be, you're going to be visualizing Swamiji in your inner space and bringing your gaze towards your third eye. And this is called as Bhadragorakasana. Continue buzzing like a bee. दो पगतरी संपट करे कोर वारली भूपर धरे कोर वारली राखे ऐसे तापरि मूल द्वार टिके वैसे गोड़ा पीड़ी भू परि दाके हाथ दो गोड़ा परि राखे दृष्टि त्रिकुटी मध्य जुटानो ताको गोरख भद्र बकानो. The next is Suryasana. Now in the same position. Bring the thumbs and the little finger together, opening up the palms, resembling a lotus flower. This is called as a Padma Mudra. Raise your arms straight up above the head and gaze through your hole between the palms and visualize as if you're holding the sun, Surya. Visualize Lord Surya in an inner space and continue buzzing like a bee, engaging the Udhyana Bandha, sucking in your stomach. We're going to enter into Suryasana. एरी दो गुदातरी आने फना पाने बैठक पुनिटाने गोड़ा जंगादर करी रहे आड़े भामे सी विधि कहे गौ भुजा नव दिशा पसारे कमल स्वरूप अंगुरी धारे पहुच मधि छिद्र पुनिटाने छिद्र विषय पुनि दृष्टि जो आने. The next is Mandakasana. Sit with the toes flat and the perineum on the heels. Keep the hands on top of the knees. Lift the tongue up against the roof of the mouth. As you can see, the model doing this. And catch the nectar of immortality dripping from the Sahasrara Chakra, your crown center, with your frog tongue. Visualize yourself as a frog and bring your gaze towards the third eye. And here you're going to be in Sahaja Kumbhaka, where you are entering back into the normal breathing. Inhale and exhale deeply and slowly. Padatalo Prishta Deshe Angushte Dvecha Samsprishet Januyugvam Puraskritya Sadayin Mandukasanam. In the same position. Now lift your hands and cross them bow. You're touching your back. Continue to visualize yourself as a frog and engage your eyes into the third eye. Bring your gaze towards the third eye and engage the Udhyana Bandha, where you're sucking in your stomach, and be in the Sahaja Kumbhaka, where you are breathing deeply and slowly. Mandukasana madhyastam kurparabhyam dhritam shiraha etadvekavaduttanam etaduttanam mandukam. The next is the Simhasana. Cross ankles and sit on the feet. Keep the knees wide, fingers spread on top. Open your mouth wide, stick out the tongue and exhale forcefully. Gaze at the tip of the nose and repeat this a few times, visualizing yourself as a lion. Now bring the gaze towards the tip of the nose. Simhasana. Dakshinam savya gulpena dakshinena tataitaram hastau cha janvo samsthapya swamgulisha prasarya cha vyakta vaktro niriksheta nasagram susamahitaha simhasanam bhaveretat pujitam yogi vistada. The next is Bhadrasana. Sit on the heels under the perineum and keep the knees wide. Cross the hands behind the back, holding on to your big toes with the hands in Prana Mudra. Apply the Jalandhara Bandha and gaze towards your nose. Jalandhara Bandha is locking your chin towards your chest and visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Gulpau cha vrishanasyaadau vritramena samahitaha पादांगुष्टौ कराभ्यांश धृत्वा च पृष्ठदेशतः जालन्धरं समासाद्य नासाग्रम् अवलोकयेत् भद्रासनं भवेदेतत् सर्वव्याधिविनाशकम्. The next is Kakabhusundhyasana. Visualizing yourself as a crow, squat and keep the feet flat on the ground and open your knees wide. Bring your arms in and around the back. Interlace the fingers behind and gaze towards your nose. The hands are in Parashimudra, where your hands are completely locked. And now you're going to be buzzing like a bee in Brahmari Kumbhaka. Prathame vaise ukadthano, do hath pagam vechi ane, Tinake modi nalyam parilyave, Prishti bache kakasi karave. Now in the same position, we are going to be entering into Kanipavasana. Place the palms on the floor and shoulder width apart. Bring the knees on the back of the arms towards the armpits. Lean the chin forward and down, gaze ahead, and enter into Kanipavasana. You are going to continue buzzing like a bee and holding on to the Mula Bandha and gazing straight. Asana ko guna ashidushita hoi, to achi hoi. Now we are going to be entering into Kapalayasana. Bring the hands on the ground, shoulder width apart. Bring the top of the head on the ground, forming a triangle between the hands and the head. Bring the knees onto the elbows and hips over the shoulder and straighten the legs up. Actually, to do this exercise, you can slowly walk towards towards the elbows, and at one point where you find the balance, slowly lift your legs up. You can start with slowly lifting your knees up and slowly lift your legs up. Visualizing Swamiji in your inner space, bring your gaze towards your nose. Sisasisha dharati teki pagado miliva uche kukhare pagatali akas dishi sanamushirashe dovu hata ki hateli dovu pashatya dharti teke drishtina sakra asana koguna rahe kapali asana jamun set bala hoi. Now we are going to be entering into Parshamayurasana. Squat onto the toes with the legs together. Twist the body and place both the hands to one side. Align the elbows with the knees and the head. Lean onto the arms and balance and extend the legs to the side and gaze to the third eye. Visualize yourself as a peacock and engage the Mula Bandha, clenching your perineal region. Mayuram dandavat kuryan mayuram dandanamakam kuryan mayuram parshvabhyam mayuram parshvanamakam. Please repeat the same thing on the other side and continue to visualize yourself as a peacock with a gaze towards your third eye. Mayuram dandavat kuryat mayuram dandanamakam kuryan mayuram parshvabhyam mayuram parshanamakam. The next is Bhairavatasana. Place both your hands on the ground, shoulder width apart, stretch your legs back straight into Karakshvasana. Step one foot outside in the respective shoulder and bringing the foot between the hands, gaze towards the third eye and visualizing yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava, Bhairaganathasana. Asana Kogana Piti Jai. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Asana Kogana Piti Jai. Now in the same position. Bring your elbows to the ground and lift your hips forward and up. Lift the chest and head up and gaze towards the third eye, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Unmukha Pitasana. Bunyastau janani hastau chatushpadam vangmukam gupta pitangri yugalam katisthalam abhiruka. The next is Vashishtasana. From the same plank position, rotate the body onto one hand and raise the opposite hand up, keeping the balancing hand directly beneath the shoulder. Raise the hip and gaze towards the sky, visualizing yourself as sage Vashishta. Vashishtasana. Urdha Kukkutta Vasishta Marichim Halamatsyakam Parivrittim Chodarasya Vividam Dhanurasanam. Repeat the same thing on the other side. Vashishtasana. Urdha Kukkutta Vasishta Marichim Halamatsyakam Parivrittim Chodarasya Vividam Dhanurasanam. Now jump your feet forward and sit with the legs stretched, toes pointing up. Bring the hands under yourself and palms facing up. Sit on your palms, keeping the spine straight, elbows to the body, tucking your chin to the chest and gaze towards the tip of your nostrils. Visualizing yourself as Lord Hanuman, you're engaging the Jalandhara Bandha where you're tucking in your chin to the chest. This is called as the Anjaneyasana. दोवु करके उभय हथेली कोरवारली मेले भेली सोने भूपरिदाशे महाने अंगुली मिली राशे अंगुष्ट चीदा राशे दोई पुनः हथेली पृष्टि जोई तापरि मूल द्वारि टिक वैसे बहुर्यो जगति करे एक वैसे. The next is the Paschimottanasana. Sit with the legs stretched out and bend from behind the waist. Bend your back forward and the big toe and hold your big toes with the index and the middle fingers. Your hands are in Prana Mudra. Bring the chest to the thighs, head and knees. Engage all the three bandhas and do the Paschimottanasana. Janu Parilalatanto Paschimam Tanamuchyate Ena Kena Prakarena Sukham Dharyancha Jayate. In the same position now, bring your clasp your hands behind the head and lean the chest forward, bringing down them to your knees, engaging all the three bandhas. Visualize your Kali in your inner space. This is a very powerful asana that helps you manifest the powers of Paramashiva. This is called as Ugrasana. Swapanibhyam dridam dhritva janupari shironyaset asana ugram vidam proktam bhaveda niladipanam देहावसान हरणं पश्चिमोत्तान संज्ञकं ययेतदासनं श्रेष्ठं प्रत्याहं साधयेद्युतिः. The next is Marichyasana, visualizing yourself as Sage Marichi. Bring one heel to the groin and the knees raised up. Reach the arms in and around the knees and clasp the hands behind your back. Bring the chest to the thigh, head to the knee and enter into Marichyasana. Uktanapādam krauncanca marīcim vīrabhadrakam natarājam trikonanca suptāngashtav prasārane. The same position. Keep the knees flat on the ground and reach to the other foot and hold on to the foot, keeping the legs straight, bring the chest forward, down, engaging all three bandhas, gazing towards your nose and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. This is called as the Mahamudrasana. Atam Mahamudrasanam Mahamudram Pravakshami Tantresmin Mam Vallabhe Yam Prapya Siddha Siddhincha Kapiladhyaha Puragataha Apasavyena Sampirya Padamulena Sadaram Guru Padeshato Yonim Gudam Medrantaralanan. The next is Marichyasana, repeated on the other side. Bring your heel to the ground, knee with the knee raised up and holding your arm around the raised knee, clasping the hands behind the back, bring your chest to the thigh, visualizing Sage Marichi in your third eye. Uktanapādam krauncanca marīcim vīrabhadrakam natarājam trikonanca suptāngashtav prasārane. Now bring the knees flat onto the ground. You're entering into Mahamudrasana. On the other side. Mahamudram pravakshami tantresmin mama vallabhe yam prapya siddha siddhincha kapiladhyah puragataha apasavyena sampirya padam mulena sadaram guru padeshato yonim buddham medhantaralanam. The next is the Bhadrasana. Bhadrasana 2. Sit and bring the soles of the feet together with the heels close to the perineum. Visualizing Swamiji in your inner space. Bring your gaze towards the third eye, closing your eyes, and this is called as a Shambhavi Mudra. Keep the knees wide and hold on to the feet firmly. Maintain a straight spine and gaze on your nose. Gulpautu vrishanasyadah sivanya pashvayokshipet padapashvetu panibhyam dridam bhadvasu nishchilam Bhadrasanam bhavedetat sarvavyadi vishapaham. The next is Gwalipavasana, sitting in the same position. Extend the feet away from your body. Keep the toes together, heels apart, knees open. Place the hands on the respective knees and tuck in the chest, the chin to the chest, and gaze towards the nose. This is called as Gwalipavasana. पूर्वचरपट चौक कह्या सोई वाहि वियो की जी सोई यमे येडी भिन्न रुजुराशे अंगुल आट अंतरो राशे चुबुक कंटकूप में ठानौ नासा अग्र दृष्टि कोटानौ या करी जालंधर बंद होई साधक साधव विधि सो कोई. The next is the Jodhyasana. Sit and keep the soles of the feet together and the heels close to the perineum and hold the soles of the feet and lean forward, Visualizing the Yoni Mandala in your inner space, gazing towards the tip of the nose. दो पगतली संपुट करे एडी मेडु दिगदरे अर्ध हाथ को अंतर राशे लिलाट पगतल्या उपरी दाशे दसोंगरी आग्र मिलावे पना अग्र परले पहरावे कहुनील भूपरि कर दाशे नली कहुनी मिलावे राशे समकरी राशे सकल शरीर नासा दृष्टि लगावे धीर मुशमार गसो वाई गहे आसक्त होई तहा लव रहे. The next is Midaki Pavasana. Now in the same position, stretch your arms wide apart and lean forward and extend the hands out and wide palms on the ground. Bring the forehead and ground on the ground behind the heels and gaze towards your nose. This is called as Midaki Pavasana. Puravu Vidhi Pari Bhagatali Samput Shola Edi Milirashe Edia Suma Hilikani Angula Doi Ataro Lilat Dharti Lagave Hath Do Goda Upari Lagave Advair Chapara Pasare Hateli Anguli Dharti Rashe Drishtina Sagre Asana Kogan Pachugupai Jiniki Gar Pipara. The next is Siddha Samadhi Asana. Sit and keep the toes together, heels apart. And bring the arms below the shins, extend out and keep the palms up. Bring the forehead to the ground above the feet. Bring the toes near the throat, gaze towards the nose. Siddha Samadhi Asana. Visualizing Swamiji in your inner space and bring the gaze towards your nose. Siddha Samadhi Asana. दो पगतली संपुट करे सोले मीड आग मेधरे अंगुल आट अंतर राशे एडी को ऐसे विदिदाशे आने हाथ पके माही का पौहनी सहित कलाया ताई आम्हा साम्हा करिपुरी दोई भूपर राशे सुधा सोई. The next is the Chinaki Pavasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Sit and keep the heels together, toes apart, and we're going to be opening them up like we're opening a book. Press the elbows onto the thighs, towards the knees and gaze towards the nose. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Chinaki Pavasana. दो पग की एड़ी धरती मगिवा मेड लगावे पगतली महली का उर अंगुटा की सदी सूदी जोड़े बारली कोर फना पुलशुल्या राशे कन्या की माहिली संधि गोड़ा उपरी राशे हाथा की अंगुली धरती टेके अंगुटा अग्रची दो धरती लगावे अगुल्या का अग्र माही काने राशे दृष्टि नासाग्र आसन को गुण नाग पवन बंद होई. Next is Charpata Churkasana. Hold on to the Uddiyana Bandha where you're sucking in your stomach and visualizing Swamiji in your inner space, gazing towards the third eye. Bring the soles of the feet together, the heels at the perineum, knees onto the ground, place on the hands, gently on the knees, and gently press them down. Pull the stomach in and up, gaze towards the third eye. दो पगतली संपुट धारे आगा नौकर जारे पसारे गोड़ा भूस लगता राशे हाथ दो गोड़ा परिताशे आशी माहिली ऊपरी ठाने गोड़ा दावी भूमि परिताने दृष्टि त्रिकुटी राशे गोये चरपट चौक कहावे सोये. The next is the Bhairavasana. Visualizing yourself as Lord Kala Bhairava, sit and bring the soles of the feet facing together, knees wide apart, lift the heels up and bring the toes down onto the ground. Keep the knees on the ground, pull the stomach in and up, place the hands on the knees in the Bindu Mudra. Gulpo Sampidya Chanyonyam Vikramena Nostitam Janvo Pashragato Hastau Dandavad Bhairavasanam. The next is the Samanasana. Sit with one heel at the perineum, lift and hold the other foot up, pulling the sole of the foot onto the chest, gaze to the third eye, hold the breath in Mooladhara Chakra. Visualize Swamiji in the space and gaze towards the third eye. Samanasanam vakshe siddha mantradi sadhanat ekapadamurau dhatva guhyonyalinga vakrake etad veerasanam nata samanasana samyakam ityakritya japen mantram dhrutva vayun chaturdale. Now we are going to be entering into Apanasana. Sit and place one leg on top of the other respective shoulder. Raise the other foot up and straight. Keep the hands on the ground. to the sides and gaze towards the third eye. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space, bringing your gaze towards the third eye. You're going to be doing the Apanasana. केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठे दण्डवत् प्रभो अपानासनमेतति सर्वेषां पुरकाश्रयम् कृत्वा सूक्ष्मे शीर्षपद्मे समारोप्य वायुभिः तदा सिद्धो भवेन्मर्त्यः प्राणापानसमागमः अपानासनयोगेन कृत्वा योगेश्वरो भुवि. The next is Samanasana. Repeat the Samanasana on the other side. Sit with one heel at the perineum, lift and pull the other foot, pulling the sole of the foot onto your chest and gaze to the third eye and hold the breath in the Muladhara Chakra. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. समानासनमावक्षे सिद्धमन्त्रादिसाधनादेकपादमुरौ दत्त्वा गुह्योऽन्यलिङ्गवक्त्रके एतद्वीरासनं नाथ समानासनसंज्ञकम् इत्याकृत्य जपेन्मन्त्रं धृत्वा वायुं चतुर्थले. Now repeat Apanasana on the other side. Bringing one knee to the shoulder and lifting the other leg up, visualizing Swamiji and gazing on towards the third eye. केवलं पादमेकं च स्कन्धे चारोप्य यत्नतः एकपादेन गगने तिष्ठे दण्डवत् प्रभो अपानासनमेतद्धि सर्वेषां पूरकाश्रयं कृत्वा सूक्ष्मे शीर्षपद्मे समारोप्य वायुभिः तदा सिद्धो भवेन्मर्त्यः प्राणापानमागमः अपानासनयोगेन कृत्वा योगेश्वरो भुवि. The next is Gomukhasana. Sit and cross one leg over the other, aligning the knees at the center of the body with the feet by the opposite hips. Place both hands on top of the stacked knees. Gaze towards the nose, visualizing the face of a cow. Gomukhasana. Here, you're going to be doing a very special pranayama called as a Shitkari pranayama. You're going to be inhaling through the teeth and exhaling through your nostrils. Continue this, a very powerful cooling pranayama. Savye dakshina gulpanto prashtapashve niyojayet dakshinopi tatha savyam gomukham yatha. You're going to be continuing the same breathing for the next few asanas. The next is the Anasuyasana. Continue the same position, same breathing, and gaze towards the tip of your nose, visualizing yourself as Rishika Anasuya. Tachina godo nichotane vaveta kupari ane goda sandhi milave bhari ada pad punis de sandhi pasari dovu pad ke angashta joi dovu karate pakarau soi नासा दृष्टि अचल करी रहिए अनसूयासन यह कहिए. Anasuyasana 2. Bring your hands towards your back and hold them together and bring your forehead towards the ground, visualizing yourself as Rishika Anasuya and continue to gaze towards the tip of your nose. जीवना गोद की संधि उपरि डावा गोड़ा की संधि मिलावी राशे गोड़ा से ले पगतल्यालो आडवा सुदा राशे हाथा से पगका अगुटा पकड़े अथावा दो हाथा पाचा ने करे काकसी करे मूल द्वार पाचे काकसी राशे नासिका धरती लगावे दृष्टि नासा अग्र आसन कौगुल यह आसन मास दोई करी सादे तौ Kanchanamai Dehai Doi. Now enter into Garudasana 2. Visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda. Sit on the ground with one heel pressed against the perineum. Keep the opposite foot on the ground in front of the other. Feel the spine tall, chest out, and hands on the respective knees and gaze to the nose. Continue the same Shitkari pranayama here. Make sure you're visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda. दावो पगड़ मोड़ी येडी महिला गुल्प मूल द्वार नीचे दे वैसे जीमनी पगतली धरती टेकी गोड़ा ऊंचो भौराशे पगतली माहिली कोरडावा गोड़ा रूपीडी माहिली कानी लगावे हाथ गोड़ा उपरी राशे दृष्टि नासा अग्र आसन कौगुन कही भांति धात जाति होई तब तत भय. The next is Naradasana in the same position. Now, Sit and place the perineum on top of one heel with the top of the foot flat on the ground. Place opposite foot on the ground in front of the opposite foot and interlace the fingers behind the neck twist outside the raised knee and gaze towards the third eye, visualizing yourself as Sage Narada. Gaze towards the third eye. Naradasana. Prishtijuvam pagatali keri. भूपरिता ही लगावे फेरी गोड़ा सुदाऊ फनो है जोई दच पाशा तिराशे सोई बेहुरयौ वाम पगतली जानौ दची पगतली ता परिठानौ. The next is Matsya Pitakasana. In the same position, place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and wrap the respective arm around the knee. Holding on to the opposite shin, extend the opposite hand straight and hold on to the respective toe with the index, middle finger and gaze to the nose. Visualize yourself as the Matsya Avatara of Vishnu. I request all the participants to please follow along. At any point you may have any question, feel free to post it in the comment section and ask us. I hope all of you are able to easily follow along the exercises, the yogasanas. Each of these yogasanas, the 12 components that are included in this are very, very, very important and can give you the experience of direct oneness with Paramashiva. Vamena vamangushthanto grihitam matsya pithakam yoni vamena sampidya mitradu paridakshinam. Now, uncross the legs and place your one knee on the top of the other knee. We are going to be doing the Gomukasana on the other side. Continue the Sheetkari Pranayama. Inhale through your teeth, clench your teeth together and inhale through your teeth and close your mouth and exhale through your nostrils. This is a very powerful cooling pranayama. Bring your gaze towards the tip of your nose, visualizing the face of a cow in your inner space and entering into Gomukasana. Savye dakshina gulpanto vrishtaparshve niyojayet dakshinopi tatha savyam gomukham yatha. Now enter into Anasuyasana 1 from the Gomukasana position. Hold on to the big toes of the index and the middle fingers. Relax the shoulders and pull the stomach in and up. Gaze towards the nose. We are now doing the Anasuyasana 1. Actually, in the Anasuyasana 1, you can even inhale through the Sheetkari Pranayama and hold on to your breath, visualizing yourself as Rishika Anasuya. दक्षिण गोड़ो नीचे उठाने वावे ताके ऊपर आने गोड़ा संधि मिलावे भारी आड़ा पद पुनि दे संधि पसारी दो पद के अंगुष्ठ जोई दो करते पकारे सोई नासा दृष्टि अचल करी रहिए अनसूयासन यह कहिए. The same asana, continuing to visualize Rishika Anasuya in your inner space. Lean forward, holding your hands towards your back and bring the chin over the knees and touch the nose to the ground. Gaze to the tip of the nose. Jimana god ki sandhi upari dava, goda ki sandhi milai rashe, goda se ule pagatalyalau advai suda rashe. हास्य उपगा का अगुटा पकड़े अथवा दो हाथा पाचा नेकई काकसी करे मूल द्वार पाचो काकसी राशे नासिका धरती लगावे दृष्टि नासा अग्र. Next is Garudasana 2. Visualizing yourself as Lord Garuda. Sit on the ground with one heel pressed against the perineum. Keep the opposite foot on the ground in front of the other. Keep the spine out, chest out, and hands to respect the knees, gaze to the nose. दावा पग मोड़ी एड़ी माहिलो गुल्प मूल द्वार नीचे दे वैसे जीवनी पगतली धरती टेकी गोड़ा ऊंचो भव राशे पगतली माहिली कोर डावा गोड़ा रूपीड़ी माहिली काली लगावे हाथ गोड़ा परी राशे दृष्टि नासा अग्र आसन को गुण कही भांति धात जाति होई तत भय. Next is Naradasana, the same position. Sit on top of the one feet on the ground and place the opposite foot on the ground in front of the opposite foot and interlace the fingers behind the neck twist outside of the raised knee and gaze toward the third eye, visualizing yourself as Sage Narada. Priti Juvam Pagatalikeeri, Bhuparita Hilagave Feri, Goda Sudopano Hajoi, Dachipa Shay Soi, Viburayo Vam Pagatali Jano, Dichipagatali Paritano, Ubay Jodi Samata Karidashe, Dachina Goda Ubhau Rashe. The next is Matsya Pitakasana. Continue to do the Chitkari Pranayama. Engage the Mulabandha. Visualize Matsya, the fish avatar of Mahavishnu. In your inner space, bring your gaze towards the tip of your nose. Place one foot on top of the opposite thigh and wrap the arm around the knee, holding on to the opposite shin. Extend the opposite hand straight and hold on to the respective toe with the index and middle finger. Gaze to the nose. We are doing the Matsya Pitakasana. Vamen Vamagushtanto Grihitam Matsya Pitakam Yoni Vamena Sampidya Medradu Paridakshinam. Now we are going to be entering into Matsyendrasana. Continue the same Shitkari Pranayama. Place one foot on top of the opposite side. Place the opposite foot on the ground and twist and bring the elbow outside the raised knee. Keep the arm by the neck, head turned backwards and gaze towards the third eye, visualizing the great sage Matsyendranatha, the master of Hatha Yoga in your inner space. For all of your ease, we have provided every visualization, the bandha, the pranayama, the mudra that you're supposed to do in every asana in the background itself. So as you want, you can just see it and follow the visualization, pranayama, bandha, and the gazing, as well as the mudra in your inner space. Udaram paschimabhasam kritva tishtati yatnatah namrangam vamapadam hi dakshajano parinyaset tatrayamyam kurparancha yame karecha vaktrakam bror madhye katam drishtim pitamatsyendra muchyate. The same position. Twist and bring the elbow outside the raised knee and extend the hand down towards the foot, keeping the opposite hand at the respective ear. Turn the head back and gaze to the third eye. Visualizing yourself as camel, Upasana. Asana Kogana Jolo Jaye. The next is Matsyendrasana 2. Place the hand on the ground and twist yourself. Matsyendrapītam Jatara Pradītim Prachanda Rukmandala Khandanastram Abhyasya Kundalini Prabodham Dandasthiratvam Hi Dadati Pumsam. Now please repeat the same thing on the other side. Matsyendrasana 1. Place one foot on top of the opposite thigh. Place the opposite foot on the ground on the far side of the opposite thigh. Twist and bring the elbow outside of the raised knee and keep the raised arm by the neck. Turn the head back and gaze to the third eye. Visualize sage Matsyendranatha and your gaze should be towards the third eye. Udaram paschimabhasam kritva tishtati yatnatah namrangam vamapadam hi dakshajano parinyase tatrayamyam kurparancha yame karecha vaktrakam bruvor madhye gatam drishtim pitamatsyendra muchyate. Now bring the hand towards your ear and twist yourself more, visualizing camel in your inner space. Ubasana. Asana Kogana Jolo Jaye. The next is Matsyendrasana 2. In the same position. Place your hand now on the ground while the other hand is continuing to hold on to your toe and twist yourself, visualizing the sage Matsyendranatha. This is a very good workout even for your waist. So I request all the participants to do it intensely. At any point you need any help, feel free to ask us. You can post it in the comment section and ask and post what question you have. Matsyendrapītam pradītim prachanda rukmandala khandanastram abhyasashete kundalini prabodham dandasthiratvam hi dadati pumsam. Now bring yourself to the seated position. We are entering into Padmasana. Place the feet on top of the opposite thighs. Place the palms on the respective knees. Engage all the three bandhas, that is, locking your chin to the chest and sucking in your stomach and clenching your perineal region. Gaze towards the tip of your nose, visualizing yourself as Lord Paramashiva. Asanam dvividam proktam padmam vajrasanam tata urdhvarupari chodhatte ubhe padatale yatha padmasanam bhavedetat sarva papa pranashanam. Now in the same Padmasana position, cross the arms and hold on to the toes with the index and the middle fingers and gaze towards the nose. Visualizing yourself as Devi Parvati. Engage the bandhas, the Mula Bandha, which is engaged in clenching your perineal region, and bring your gaze towards the tip of your nose. Uttanau charanau kratva uru samstau prasanya prayatnataha uru madhye tato tanau pani kratva tatadrishau nasagre vinyase drishtim dantamulan shajivaya Uttolya chibukam bhakshya uttapya pavanam shanaihi yata shaktya samakrishya purayedudaram shanaihi yata shaktaiva paschattu रेचर्येद विरोधतः इदं पद्मासनं प्रोक्तं सर्वव्याधिविनाशनं दुर्लभं येन केनापि धीमता लभ्यते परम्. Now, slide in the palms between your two thighs and lift the body up, visualizing yourself as a rooster. Continue to engage the Mula Bandha. This is called as the Kukutasana. Padmasanam susamstapya nanurvorantare karau nivesha bhumavashishte vyomasta kukkutasanaha. Now we are going to be entering into Baddha Kekiasana. Sit and place the foot on the opposite thighs. Continue to be in this Padmasana position and keep the elbows together. Press them against your navel. Then lean forward, find the balance and extend your knees up off the ground. And continue the Mula Bandha. Dharamavashtabhya karadvayena tatkurpari tatstapitanabi parsashva uchchasano dandavaduttitakke mayurametam pravadanti pitam mayuram padmakam kuryad baddhake kiti katyate. Now just stretch your legs outwards. Continue in the same position and extend your leg out. And this is called as Mayurasana. Visualize yourself as a peacock. Athavakshe Mahadeva Mayurasana Muttamam Bhumau Nipatya Hastau Dau Kurparo Paridehakam Kurparo Parisamstapya Sarvadeham Stirashayaha Kevalam Hasta Yugadam Nipatya Bhuvi Sthiraha. Now, lie flat on your stomach with your feet pointing outwards and the forehead on the mat. Interlace the fingers behind the neck and hold, visualizing yourself as a crocodile. Adhyasashete hridayam nidhaya bhumau cha padau cha prasaryamano sirascha dhritva karadanda yugme dehagnikaram makarasanam tatha. Now continue to be the same position and raise the legs up by bringing the thighs off the ground, visualizing yourself as a cricket. Shalabhasana. Adhyasashete karayugma vakshmo bhumimavashtabhya karayostalabhyam padau cha shune cha vedasti chodam vadanti pitam shalabham murindraha. So pull your feet towards your buttocks and towards the ground outside of the hips. Visualizing yourself as camel. Try to lift your chest up. Adhyasashete padayugma vyastam prishte nidhayapi dhritam karabhyam akundet samyugudarasya gadam pushkrancha pitam yogino vadanti. Now pull the feet up towards the sky and lifting your chest off the ground and raise up and visualizing yourself as a bow, Dhanurasana. प्रसार्य पादभुविदण्डरूपौ करौ च पृष्ठे धृतपादयुग्मं कृत्वा धनुस्तुल्य विवर्तिताङ्गं निगद्य योगी धनुरासनं तत्. Now sit back on both knees with the head making spine in a straight line. Place the palms down on top of the thighs and the knees and gaze towards the third eye, entering into Sahaja Kumbhaka, visualizing Swamiji in your inner space with your gaze towards the third eye. Bhagasana. उलटा मोड़ी पाव धोऊ वैसे बहुरौ जगति करे एक ऐसे पावन माहिली गुल्फ जो होवो कुला पाशति लावे सोवो पृष्टि पगतल्या की पुनि जोई हाथा सौ मोड़े वह सोई ताको जंग निकट लियवे. Gohyasana. From the knees, place the forehead on the ground. Fingers interlocked, elbows shoulder width apart. Place the top of the head on the ground, holding back of the head with the hands. Walk the toes forward until the hips align with the shoulders. Lift the feet up, keeping the knees bent together against the chest and touching the chin. Gaze towards the nose, and this is called as a Gohyasana. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space and your gaze towards the tip of your nose. दो हाथ की कहनी जोई पुनिह कलाई जोने दोई पिष्टि अंगुलिया की पुन जानो ये सब ले भू ऊपर ठानो उबे कलाई जुड़वा राशे तिन परि आनी सीस पर दाशे या विधि आसन करे कपारी नासा दृष्टि रहे थिर धारी. Now in the same position, lift your feet up straight towards the sky and enter into Shirasasana. विपरीतं मण्डलं च द्विविधौ विदितं हिनः दण्डासनं द्विविधा प्रोक्तं विपरीतोपवेशने सर्वाङ्गशीर्षभागास्तु षष्ठष्टि प्रतिष्ठास्तु ते. The next is Kodyasana. Set the hands behind the calves. Stretch the legs up, bring the forehead to the knee, and come to a vertical position with the legs. And visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Here you're going to do a special pranayama called as a Bastrika Kumbhaka, where you're just going to focus on forcefully exhaling. दो हाथ पग बाहर आने गोड़ा तरे कंक सीठाने अंगुष्ठ पिंडली लगता धरे करणुभव आकाश से करे पृष्टि सकुला धरती लगावे उदर संकोची ऊर्ध टहरावे गोड़ा शीस वितंभन करे इह विधि पोद्यासन धरे. The next is Parikasana in the same position. Continue the same pranayama, the Bastrika Kumbhaka, and extend the legs out up at a 45-degree angle and continue doing the same thing, but make the visualization as you visualize the mace in your inner space. Uktana shayanam kritva padau militva prasarya idam bambhumau sprishtya hastabhyam kandara badva kumbhakam kritva tishtet parigasanam. The same position, now visualize yourself as a boat and enter into Navasana. Bring the elbows down to the ground, beside the hips. Keep the chest upright, legs straight, toes pointed out. There's an intense workout for your abs. Uttana shayanam kurparabhyam bhuvimavashtabhya hastau nitambam nidhaya shiram muru janga padam dandavadharayet naukasanam bhavati. The next is Rudrasana. Continue the same Bastrika Kumbhaka and sit and lift up, scoop the hands under the heels, put the feet towards the chest and keep the spine upright and gaze to the nose. Pagatali samta kare hatastau pag uchai pagaka angota dovu levu parli kane talavai pache dovu hat pagama he kari niche kari chirau ani. The next This Ummukha Pitasana. Lay down back with the feet flat on the ground. Place the palms down and the fingers just touching the back of the heels. Lift the hips up high, pressing the feet onto the ground. The chin tucks into the chest and gaze towards the knees. ऊर्ध्वे च जानुनी कृत्वा शवितोर्ध्वमुखं तथा उत्थाप्य हस्तौ तिष्ठेतु पीठमुन्मुखनामके. Now, let us all enter into Shavasana. Lay down flat, completely untouched from any micro movements of the body and mind. Lay down with the palms facing upwards. Let your whole body enter into a deep stillness. Enter into a deep unclenching. The only visualization is to visualize your whole body is just dead. Visualize Swamiji is liberating you. The mudra is Shakti Chalana mudra, where you're going to experience the intense energy, the Kundalini Shakti flowing all over your body. Chant the ajapa of the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Intensely chant this in your inner space. अथ शवासनम् उत्थानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं शान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्. Slowly relax. Relax your toes, your knees, your hips. Slightly start wiggling your toes with the slight movements towards your knees, your hip, loosen your hips, relax them deeply, relax your stomach, relax your palms, your fingers, your elbows, your shoulders, your chest, your shoulder blades, your neck, your back. Experience deep relaxation with every muscle, your chin, your ears, your cheeks, your nose, your lips, your mouth, your eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead, your head. Visualize a complete deep relaxation. Experience the relaxation. Experience the intense Kundalini Shakti flowing from your Sahasrara towards your entire body. You're completely dead. Your body is dead. Swamiji is liberating your body. And slowly bring your knees together towards your chest. Pull your knees together towards your chest. Lock your knees with your hands around and slightly roll towards the side. Lift yourself up and enter into a seated position, a comfortable seated position. We thank every participant. You have now successfully completed KAILASA Nithyananda Yoga, the Prathama Vinyasa Krama. Let us now offer our gratitude to Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has revived this most authentic yoga with the 12 components included in it. And let's offer our gratitude, surrendering at the divine lotus feet of Swamiji. And let's chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat Sarvam Bhagavat Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padakarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you all. Let us meet again sharp at 5:30 a.m.